Welcome back to the channel. If you thought this week on Days of Our Lives was dramatic, you haven't seen anything yet. Because this Friday, May 16th, Salem is about to explode with emotional confrontations, terrifying premonitions, and desperate decisions that could change lives forever. Marlena receives a call that should bring hope, but Susan senses doom. Philip's greedy plan backfires spectacularly, and Sarah corners Xander with a demand for the truth he may not be ready to give. It begins like any other day in Salem, but under the surface, something feels off. Marlena Evans and Susan Banks sit down for what's supposed to be a quiet, friendly breakfast. The sun is shining, the cafe is peaceful, and for a moment, everything feels normal. But in Days of Our Lives, normal never lasts. Suddenly, E.J. Demera enters, uninvited, unannounced, and instantly shifting the mood. His presence alone causes unease. What's he doing here? Is he checking in on Belle? Trying to gather intel on Johnny? Or perhaps, as always with E.J., he has a hidden agenda. The tension rises as the conversation turns awkward. Susan shifts in her seat. Marlena keeps her calm, but you can see it, something's building. Then, the phone rings. Marlena answers, her voice trembling slightly. They found him. John Black, her husband, her soulmate, the man she feared she might never see again, has been found. For a brief, shining moment, joy lights up Marlena's face. Relief floods in. Could this finally be the moment they reunite? But just as hope takes hold, a shadow falls over the scene. Susan grows visibly pale. Her eyes glaze over. And in that eerie, knowing voice she's known for, she mutters something chilling. It feels like someone just walked over my grave. It's not just a bad feeling, it's a premonition. Susan's psychic instincts are in overdrive, and they're screaming that something is wrong. Deeply wrong. So while Marlena celebrates the news that John has been found, Susan feels a darkness creeping in. A terrible warning that this joyful news may soon turn to heartbreak. What is Susan sensing? Is John truly coming home? Or is this the beginning of something far more devastating? Meanwhile, across Salem, Philip Kyriakis is playing a dangerous game, and he's about to lose control. For weeks, Philip has been quietly scheming behind the scenes. With help from Kevin Lambert, who works in Dr. Russell's research lab, he's orchestrated a covert plan to steal the miracle drug Versavix, a sepsis treatment that could save Bo Brady's life. But make no mistake, this isn't about saving anyone. For Philip, this is about power, leverage, and the twisted thrill of control. Greed is driving him, and it's about to drive him straight into disaster. On Friday, the plan goes into motion. Kevin sneaks into the lab, grabs the tray of Versavix vials, and prepares to meet with Philip. But there's one thing they didn't count on. Steve Johnson and Sean Brady are one step behind them, and they're desperate. Knowing Versavix is Bo's last hope, Steve and Sean make a bold move. They break into the lab, ready to take a vial by force if they have to. But when they arrive, it's already too late. The cabinet door is open. The vials are gone. Panic sets in, not just for Steve and Sean, but for Philip and Kevin too. Did something go wrong during the handoff? Were the vials dropped? Stolen again? Or, worst of all, destroyed? If Bo can't receive that treatment in time, his condition may deteriorate beyond saving. And Philip will be the one to blame. This was never supposed to spiral this far. But now, one man's greed may have cost another man his life. The pressure is rising, and Philip is unraveling fast. For viewers, this storyline hits hard. It's not just about stolen vials, it's about life, death, and the weight of consequences. Will Philip try to cover his tracks? Will guilt crack his cold exterior? And will Sean and Steve be able to salvage anything from this disaster before Bo's time runs out? In another corner of Salem, tensions are reaching a boiling point between Sarah Horton Kyriakis and her husband, Xander. For weeks now, Sarah has been quietly watching him, taking note of his every move, every business call, and every evasive answer. And now, the dots are starting to connect in a way she doesn't like. Xander's sudden obsession with acquiring the hospital isn't sitting right with her. He claims it's for noble reasons, to do something good, to make a change, but Sarah knows Xander too well to buy that at face value. On Friday's episode, she decides to stop wondering and starts demanding answers. She doesn't come at him with anger, not at first. She comes with clarity, with eyes that have seen the old Xander resurface before, and a voice that's steady, but filled with hurt. She asks the question point blank. Why are you really trying to buy that hospital? Is it a redemption story, or is he just looking to control something powerful again? As Sarah presses, her tone sharpens. She brings up past betrayals, failed promises, and the times Xander used manipulation to get what he wanted. She reminds him of how far they've come, how hard they fought to rebuild something real. And then comes the heart of it. Are you doing this for us, or for yourself? Xander, caught off guard, tries to maintain his composure. He might offer half-truths, or shift the focus. But Sarah's gaze stays locked on him, unwavering, piercing, unrelenting. She's not just asking for details, she's asking for his soul. This is more than a conversation. It's a test of trust, integrity, and whether Xander has truly changed. For viewers, this becomes one of the most emotionally raw and intimate moments of the entire episode. Because beneath all the corporate scheming and dramatic twists, this is a scene about two people trying to figure out if love can survive when truth is in doubt. Will Xander bear it all and prove that he's ready to be honest, even if it costs him control? Or will he choose ambition over transparency once again, risking the fragile peace they've only just begun to rebuild? One thing's for certain, if Sarah walks away from this conversation feeling betrayed, it may not just end a business deal, it may shatter their marriage for good. Stay tuned, because this isn't just a confrontation. It's a reckoning. Elsewhere in Salem, Sarah Horton Kuriakis has had enough of secrets. She's been watching Xander closely and is growing more suspicious by the day. His sudden interest in purchasing the hospital doesn't sit right with her. And on Friday, she finally confronts him. What does he really want from this acquisition? Is it about reforming himself, or is he planning to use the hospital for something shady? Sarah corners Xander with sharp questions and unwavering eyes. For viewers, this promises to be one of the most emotionally charged scenes of the episode. Will Xander confess everything, or lie again to protect his ambition? This moment could redefine their relationship, especially if Sarah senses he's not being fully honest. The emotional foundation they've rebuilt may be far more fragile than it appears. Back in the heart of the mystery, Steve, Kayla, and Sean are determined to uncover the truth about the missing Versavix doses. They know time is slipping away for Bo, and their only hope now lies in figuring out what happened before it's too late. Their investigation begins at the lab, where clues point toward sabotage or theft. Suspicion will inevitably turn toward Philip, especially if his panic leads to mistakes. But what if there's another player in this game? Could someone else have manipulated the situation? Could the miracle drug have been removed not for profit, but for revenge? This new layer of intrigue adds urgency to their quest. Salem's most determined detectives are on the case, and they won't stop until they have answers. As Friday unfolds, a common thread weaves through every storyline: dread. Marlena hopes for healing, but Susan senses heartbreak. Philip schemes for gain, but it could bring devastating loss. Sarah demands honesty, but what she hears may hurt more than silence. And in the shadows, the consequences of every action begin to take shape. Bo's survival hangs by a thread. John's fate feels like a cruel twist of fate waiting to happen. And the truth, whether about Versavix, EJ's investigation, or Xander's intentions, is about to erupt. As the dust begins to settle in Salem, if it ever truly does, we're left with more questions than answers. Because today's episode wasn't just about twists and turns. It was about warnings, regret, and the unsettling truth that even the most hopeful moments can come wrapped in darkness. So now, we ask, will Philip Kuriaki's reckless pursuit of control cost Beau Brady his one and only chance at survival? Did his greed seal Beau's fate before the cure could even reach him? Marlena may be celebrating the news of John's return, but Susan's chilling vision still lingers. Is it possible that what's coming isn't a joyful reunion, but a tragic goodbye? And what about Sarah and Xander? With the cracks widening in their fragile marriage, can they withstand yet another blow, or will this be the breaking point that pushes them apart for good? Most importantly, can Salem ever return to peace, or are we just at the beginning of a much larger, more dangerous game, one where every move brings the threat of devastation? These aren't just storylines. These are emotional fault lines, and the aftershocks are just starting to ripple through every corner of town. So now, we want to hear from you. What story hit you the hardest today? Do you believe Susan's ominous feeling was a real psychic warning, or just fear clouding hope? And who do you think is truly behind the missing Versavics? Is Philip the mastermind, or is there another player in the shadows? Drop your theories, emotions, and predictions in the comments below. Let's unravel this together. And if today's episode kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, so you never miss the next spoiler breakdown, fan theory, or shocking twist from Days of Our Lives. Because in Salem, even a miracle can turn into a nightmare. Even love can carry the weight of betrayal. And even a bright tomorrow can be shadowed by a storm that's already on its way. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep watching. The next chapter is just around the corner.